We have more than enough. Sweet. Of those people, keep your hands up, please. Of those people, how many of you are using caffeine energy drinks or anything of the nature to support that energy? So we got, you're supporting your energy with it. Okay, so what I wanted to propose to you today is an alternative to be able to sustain your energy so you can do the things you want in your life without all of the negative side effects that caffeine and energy drinks provide. In case you guys don't know about caffeine and all of those things, it tends to deplete our adrenal glands, and if that's a little bit much, it's what basically gives you and supports our energy. And if you think of it, this is how I like to think of it, being in the health field for the past 10 years, is it's almost like a low dose of speed, because it brings up your adrenals, and then it takes you down a little bit lower, meaning that you need it a little bit more and more and able to sustain your energy. So my suggestion that I'd like to inspire you to check out and try for yourself is a plant-based diet. And the reason that I'm suggesting a plant-based diet is because, and it's, well, more specifically, within a plant-based diet, a raw, organic, natural way of consuming plants. Because when you're eating your plants in a natural state, uncooked, the nutrients are still intact, and when they are raw, they actually digest themselves with their own enzymes. So when you eat them, they don't take away. You don't feel that sluggishness like, oh, I just need to relax, I need to sit down on the couch, I need to turn on the TV, I need to fall asleep. You don't feel that same drop in energy when you're consuming a plant-based diet. So it can be really overwhelming when you're embarking on something like that. And I just wanted to break it down in just the most important components and give you a takeaway that you can use today to start boosting your own energy. And the first thing is dark leafy greens. And I don't know how many of you guys are eating 2 bunches or 2 heads of dark leafy greens. Anybody? Daily? Sweet! We got some rock stars in here. That's tough. Sorry, you know, that's a new tough for him after class. Okay, so dark leafy greens. A lot of people are really big into protein and they want to be able to put the protein on. And the most natural form of protein is amino acids. So protein is kind of like the middleman to amino acids. So we look at animals and we think, let's eat the animal. Well, let's look at what the animal is eating to get that amazing muscular definition, which is leafy greens. So we look at horses and how they're eating oats, they're eating grass, they're eating those things, and their muscle is immaculate. They're just gorgeous. So sometimes we can learn a lot when we're looking at the animals, what they're consuming. A lot of people are eating fish oils, and if they actually just ate the algae of what the fish are eating, they too would have the same benefits instead of going through the fish. Now, I'm not suggesting that you eliminate all of your animal products, but this is a way to reduce them or to add into what you're currently eating. So 2 bunches of leafy greens is a suggestion to be able to get the amino acids that you need to support healthy bodily function, to give you that energy. And the second thing is fruit. And fruit in its most natural state, again, organic and raw and all of those things. That is what our body is most designed to operate on. We tend to think of, energy as our caffeine or our sugar and those things that give us the fuel, but naturally, the most natural form of sugar is fruit. And it's the most digestible. It has fiber, so it goes into the bloodstream a little bit slower, and so you're able to keep a steady flow of energy. And it's also quite interesting that most fruits are about the size of your hand, which is about the size of your stomach, which makes it the most easily, readily available food to put into your body. And the ideal amount of fruit, now this might freak you out, is about 9 cups of fruit a day. So is anybody eating about 9 cups of fruit a day? Wow. Yeah, this guy, again, talk to this guy over here. So, yeah, about 9 cups of fruit a day. And there's 2 books that I'd really like to encourage you in case you're wanting to know more information about this. One is a book called 80-10-10 by Dr. Douglas Graham. He is an Olympic athlete trainer, and he trains Olympic athletes to be able to excel and do phenomenal, and would give phenomenal results, and that's exactly what he's done. And another book is called Green for Life by Victoria Butenko, who was a mother with a very sick family that was from Russia, and she basically turned all of her family ailments dark leafy greens. They even had cavity fillings, and when they started consuming large amounts of cavity fillings, their nails grew in so strong, almost like claws, and all of their fillings popped out and bone regrew. So she has an amazing story in that book, Green for Life, and the other book that supports the fruit is 80-10-10 by Dr. Douglas Graham. So you might be thinking, how in the world am I going to eat all of this in one day? And I'm not suggesting that's all that you eat, but I suggest that the first meal that you eat is that. And my favorite way is through a green smoothie. And it's a really simple recipe. I believe that the first meal that you eat is the most important meal that you eat. How many of you know that when you start your day off eating something just off, the rest of your day goes that way? You eat junk and then you just keep going down. This is the same thing. So when you start your day with a really amazing nutrient-dense meal, you're most likely going to continue on with that momentum. So the recipe that I'd like to give to you, I can just give it to you verbally. I can also write it down. I didn't know if this had to stay down or not. But and I'm a minimalist. Oh, I can bring this up? I'm a minimalist, so I don't like to complicate things. I've got 2 kids. I want to keep it as simple and quick as possible. So I'm going to share with you exactly what I do. I put 4 bananas, frozen bananas. I keep you know when your bananas go and they're not, you're going to have to get rid of them? I throw them in the freezer. They're super sweet, and I put them in my blender. So 4 frozen bananas, and then 3 to 6, not 4, 3 to 6 cups of dark leafy greens. Now, you don't need to compact that all the way down. You can keep it light and fluffy in the beginning, but eventually you'll start packing it down. I'm up to doing about a pound of leafy greens in mine. So 3 to 6 cups of dark leafy greens. I like spinach. That tends to be the most mild. Bananas actually cover up the flavor of the green smoothie. And then, if these are frozen, then you will add 1 cup of water. Now, if you don't have frozen bananas, you just swap this out for ice cubes. So that way you keep it nice and cold. And drink it ideally within 30 minutes, because once it's blended, it starts to lose nutrients. So the faster that you can consume it, the better. And so, anyway, I've been doing this probably, let's see, I started doing green smoothies back in 2007. I do it with my 2 teenagers. Every time my kids start to show acne or body odor, I put them on the green smoothies. Their behavior improves, their skin clears up, their energy and attitude is phenomenal, and I notice it for myself too, that I am on a great roll when I follow eating lots of fruits and greens. So anyhow, if you want to be more productive, if you want to be able to spend as much time with your loved ones, really living this life to the fullest, really making it count, really making it mean something, I would love to suggest that you guys try eating more produce to be more productive. Thank you so much, and that's all.
Lori, hello, Toastmasters. Lori, I loved your speech. I felt you were so enthusiastic about it. You had so much research done with it, and you put as much information into it as you could, and I loved it. Kudos to that. I loved how you started your speech, how you asked a question to everybody to get them involved, to get their minds thinking a little bit. I loved how it was all centralized and how it allowed you to not just blast right into your speech, but it allowed you to walk into it with everybody's hand in yours. The whole thing, very informative. The preparation was really good. You were very organized. Your intro, body, and conclusion were practically perfect, like Mary Poppins. You had excellent transitions. The only problems that I can really think of were the rescue. Maybe if you had it already up there, it wouldn't have taken away from you having to look away from the audience to write it down or put that up. But, or if you had it in a handout, that would have been even better, because you could have passed it out beforehand.